Greetings to you all in the last hours of this year now complete. This I'm doing right now the dream wave for the month of January, and of course it's not necessarily the real beginning of a new year, as we know our calendars are quite erroneous. I'm going to do a brief one this month because I'm going to do a 2024 kind of predictions or just what to expect in the year ahead. And then I'm going to do an additional vid, a new setup where I do a monthly Plutonic moon, Plutonic lunar wave, where I delineate and describe all the five aspects a month that Pluto or that the moon makes to Pluto. And I usually share that information in the Dreamwave podcast, but I decided to make it separate so I can nuance an understanding of what Pluto is and how it represents the truth wherever we have Pluto in our charts. And this is also generational, but it also is particular and precise, especially in terms of our human design gate where Pluto is and the line number. And I want to go deeper into that as a part of my channel and what I share and what I write about. And so those will be forthcoming after this video. As you could see here, I did write up the Dreamwave for this month. Now Mercury is returning direct tomorrow. And so we will be able to reset, reorganize, and move forward. We've dealt with past triggers or issues coming up for us to clear, or people or circumstances. Usually Mercury retrograde is like a cleaning up, like a last kind of minute cleanup of things that we did not complete, and communications we didn't complete. And that is usually the case, although all of them come with a different theme relative to what sign Mercury is in when it retrogrades and what aspects it makes to other planets. In other words, what connections it makes. In this case, we had Mercury retrograding into Sagittarius, and now it's moving back into Capricorn. And the dominant nodes for this month, this is something I'm adding. I didn't add it right here, but I'm going to add it right here. The nodes are in the North Node is going to be in gate 51. That's an Aries gate. And that is the gate of initiation, mysticism, and chaos as well. Deep intensity is this particular gate. And so this month, even though we have Mercury going direct and the importance of that and the power of that, we're still going to have a little bit of chaos and intensity. The nodes are in gate 51 and 57. 57 is very strong. 57 is the impulse, the need in the moment, the spontaneous truth that needs to be expressed. And when that energy comes up, anyone can own it. This is a transit. So, but those who have this particular gate will feel it expressively strong as it conjuncts their planet that's in that gate or node. Chaos and initiation abound. Do not fear chaos. Employ it. Recognize its patterns and hold the way for its correct direction. January begins a month of building. This is rather a year of building. I'll go to it more deeply when I go through my podcast for the whole year. There will be eruptions, shocks, surprises. The nodes are in gate 51, seeking the bridge to the mystical, and in Libra, gate 57, speaking out with brutality or gentleness. January 11th will be an especially interesting new moon as it will square Pluto, bringing forth powerful new assessments and understandings of the world. The full moon will be January 27th in Gate Leo, Gate 31. This is the necessity to speak out your truth, but in such a way where you realize that everyone is not going to necessarily resonate with you. This is the gate of influence. This is in the channel, the Alpha, so it's taking charge, and it's in Leo, and so it'll be a particular type of need to share in the world. It's really important to speak out, especially at this time. I'll go into that more in the yearly podcast, but this is a year where we need to break ties from what is not correct, and we need to move forward with courage for what is correct for humanity, and not the strangleholds that they're planning with, a digital currency to replace the dollar, like that. Those are things that we may not want to agree with and commit to at all. We want to find our own ways. A time to be strong within and gentle without, the expression of your truth. This is about really expressing your truth. And that's really painful for a lot of us because we live in a culture that celebrates distraction and celebrates, or rather not celebrates, but denigrates emotions, intense emotions, especially negative emotions, especially for those of us who are open. Solar plexus definition, like myself, it's like very, very, like, when I feel into my own emotions, like it begins with deep breakdown, or deep or high excitement, and this is because the opens feel it so strongly. They feel the ones with the defined solar plexus wave. They feel that energy so strongly that it amplifies in their body. They don't necessarily react outwardly, but it's very strong and painful, especially if you have like Venus in your chart and it's stressed out from too many aspects. What else? I won't go over this. This is my usual about the planets or the dream symbols for the dream, the language we are born into, so as to play with what we do not yet understand. The purpose of life is to play out what we do not yet understand. Life is a play and exercise of free fate. It's just a reminder that there's a holographic awareness of the universe, in the sense that whatever the planets do moving about, they move within as well. Their waveforms reach our auric bodies and affect us. Now, the sun will be moving through the gates of Capricorn and Aquarius on December 31st. That's today. The sun is moving the gate 38. This is the deliberate warrior. The pressure builds and we go forth to fight with purpose or get lost in misdirected angers and directions. This is where the majority of the neutrinos will be. And so we start up the year in this powerful Capricorn gate. Just remember not to misdirect your anger and to build from a place of truth, of knowing. In later this week, January 6th, this coming up week, the sun will move in the gate 54. This is a very difficult gate. It's ambition, but it's like really strong ambition, and we can move our drive forward and keep our goals and sights, or we can give in to manipulation. The new moon will be on January 11th. It'll be in the gate of inspiration. Check your goal list for your ambitions, directions, and their way forward. Begin to move forward and prepare for our next movements at this time. And that's January 11th. That'll be conjuncting Pluto, so it'll be a really, really intense new moon. Everyone will feel it a couple days before and after. And this will be in, I didn't note this sign. Well, Capricorn, obviously. Being that the sun is in Capricorn, so the moon will be in Capricorn as well. Around January 11th, the sun will also go into gate 60 after the 54. Now, gate 60 is the gate of conservation. Hold to what you have, saving and conserving what you have, and seeking not to gain in the outer world, or let fear of change arrest your stillness at this time. This is not a time to take risks. This period of time from January 11th to the 17th is a time to be very conservative with what you have and inward, and not expend so much energy outwardly. On January 17th, we have gate 61, the gate of mysterious truths. There's no absolute knowing nor absolute irrational unknowing of or knowing of the unknowing. Allow the mysteries to meet you or get lost in the dark corners of absolutism and overthinking. This is one of those gates where you have to be careful not to let the demons of the mind take over. For those who have defined asana centers and head centers, meditation is really good because you can learn to control your mind. But also it's important to exhaust it in meditation is being the observer, observing all that chaos that runs through the mind and into it and through it. And that's January 17th to the 23rd. As we move into Aquarius, we move into gate 41, the gate of imagination. Give time to your visions, to feel them and experience them as a source of creative expression for the spirit, or become hyperactive, chasing everything you imagine you want. Sometimes with this gate, it's about experiencing things in your imagination, not necessarily the need to experience it in this composed reality or holographic kind of dream world. January 25th will be a full moon in gate 31. I kind of went over that already. This is the gate of influential leadership. Full moons are a time to let go of what is no longer serving us. The full moon is about being able to stand in your power, knowing that you're here to offend and challenge those who do not resonate with you and connect with those who do. Be strong in the place that is yours, expressing your guidance for those who do not resonate with you despite the challenging truths being expressed. Finally, at the end of the month, the sun will move into gate 19, the gate of wanting, needing to connect with others at this time and being able to communicate your needs and ask their needs in balance, or get lost in extremes by losing oneself or completely shutting the other down or shutting the other out without grace or compassion. Gate 19 is very, very, it's a gate of desire. It's a very, very powerful energy, and it's a need to connect with the world around you, which is the same as the world within you. And this will be January 28th to probably February 4th. I haven't checked, but probably around the 3rd or 4th. Usually the sun stays in a gate for 5 or 6 days. I'll just put that in. We are still in the shadow of Mercury retrograde for most of this month. So keep that in mind in terms of making new purchases and repairing technologies and computers and things to that effect. And be careful with how you express things and thinking about how to gradually put things in direct order. Don't rush into things. For example, I have a lot of appointments I need to plan. I'm not rushing into it. I'm going to wait until Mercury goes direct tomorrow and this week to really try and put those plans into form. And that's it for this month's Dreamwave. I hope that was helpful and supportive to you. I will be doing a Pluto moon transit, and that'll be released around the same time or a little after. Okay, thanks so much, all.